Welcome to your Creep Cult bonus episode.
Welcome back.
Yeah, and just to keep things real lively, we're going to talk about Okja. The fucking depressingest movie ever.
So,
Alphabet Roulette.
our continued theme across several movies so far has been humans doing horrific things to the environment and to animals and to the planet. And we did this to ourselves.
Fucking Tilda Swinton,
Well, we
man.
didn't do it to ourselves. John did it to us.
Yeah, John. We know you rigged the wheel.
I just clicked the spin.
No matter how many times we do it, there's always going to be some suspicion about wheel rigging.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched some movies that I did not want to watch, so I have not been rigging shit.
Anyway, Okja by Bong Joon-Ho, starring a slew of people, including Tilda Swinton, what's his name? Paul Dano,
Yeah.
Steven Yeun, and what's the little girl's name? Do we know? Because she's fantastic.
Well, I am going to look it up because I feel like it would be wrong not to mention her because, yes, she is fantastic. It's Tilda Swinton. On Siu Hun, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that properly, is Mika. Paul Dano is Jay. Jake Gyllenhaal as Dr.
Right.
Johnny Wilcox. A
Fucking weird-ass performance,
Yeah,
dude.
probably my least favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, Lily Collins as Red, Steven Yeun as Kay, Giancarlo Esposito as Frank Dawson.
Kind of a bit part for him.
Yeah, I mean, basically just kind of playing like the person behind the scenes.
Yeah, so this was a Netflix Bong Joon-Ho movie, and the brief little plot synopsis is a young girl named Mija risks everything to prevent a powerful multinational company from kidnapping her best friend, a massive animal named Okja.
Super Pig.
Yeah, so I think, the bigger context is that the planet is running out of food and resources, so allegedly this company found a super pig and then breeded that super pig, gave it to farmers, and let them raise them for 10 years.
They had a fish fuck a squirrel.
And then they're going to slaughter. They go pick the pig up to slaughter it.
Yeah, they're like
the best Super Pig.
Yeah, we'll wait 10 years after developing these, let them grow up all fat and plump, and then we'll go pick the best one, and then we'll parade it around and kill it.
Yeah, Mija is under the impression that her grandfather, I don't know if they explicitly say, do they actually say it?
I believe it's her grandfather.
Yeah. Paid the company Mirando to keep the super pig. And it's not true. So then they come get the pig, and then she's like, fuck you, dude.
So she goes on a...
That's my pig, brother.
On a big world hopping journey to New York, to try to save Okja. On the way, she runs into Alf. I was really taken aback that Alf was a character in this movie, but no, it's the Animal Liberation Front. That's where Paul Dano and
Steven
Yeun show up.
J and K,
and we're kind of unclear as to what they're.
A Men in Black thing.
So it's Jay, like the actual, like Jay Baruchel, like a J, the name, and then letter K.
What do you think? It's a Men in Black thing?
Possibly.
But yeah, so then we're kind of unaware of what their true intentions are. Very similar to some of the other stuff. It's like, are they villains? Are they trying to do the right thing?
Are they
but
humans?
Maybe they're not doing it in the right way.
Are they dancers?
So yeah, I had seen this movie before. I think was it both of your first times?
Was my first time.
Seeing it? What'd you guys think about it?
It is depressing.
First time.
Yeah.
It wasn't as depressing as I thought it was going to be. I was really worried at the end it was going to go very poorly.
Yeah.
So at least it still has a mostly happy ending. I mean, it's still
Mostly.
fucked up in a lot of ways.
I
but-
could see Bong Joon-Ho having completely swung the other direction and just made it just like awful at the end.
Well, I mean, the host, he just fucking kill kids. Like,
Yeah.
he does it. So yeah. So I was like, I don't know what to expect.
I wasn't expecting to get the most bubblegum version of the ending of that film, which is not really what we got, but like got pretty close to, without making it unbelievable for, future with super piglets.
It didn't seem like they wrapped it up just to be like, oh, it's a happy ending. I mean, obviously we're going to get into spoilers, but she does have to give up a shitload of money for that pig.
That solid gold.
Yeah, and then the people that helped her all go to prison.
Yeah.
And then, like, we are led to believe that all of the other hundreds of pigs that are there, super pigs, are going to be slaughtered.
Yeah, because you have that really. I mean, by the time they get to the slaughter like yard, and you have all the different super pigs, and then when the like one parents like push the baby out like to try to get it rescued, and she takes the baby with them, it's fucking heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. And also something that really stands out in this movie, and also in Host, is the special effects. I think Okja in this movie looks pretty fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. Like the textures, the skin textures and stuff, like that early scene when Okja saves Mija from falling off the cliff. I was like, this, like, if it wasn't quite as cartoony in design, because it's supposed to be really cute and everything, like it was designed to look a little bit more realistic, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that it wasn't a real animal. I think just because of its face and stuff, like you're like, oh, okay, I don't know.
Do we know what team he uses for his effects?
I don't,
because I imagine they would have to be the same group.
Yeah, because I mean, in both movies, I mean, and this is definitely a step up from
the
Host. Yeah,
or the Host.
The Host. Yeah,
Host.
I'm just from one of those movies.
Yeah,
one of those Host movies. But yeah, and then also a recurring Bong Joon-Ho element now is Tilda Swinton playing freakish, weird characters with some sort of like speech impediment or something.
Another one of his movies?
Snowpiercer.
She's like the leader of the train.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got like weird fake teeth in and all kinds of stuff. I almost
sticking people's arms out into the Sub-Zero elements.
Right.
I almost had a theory that either the one we see for most of the movie or her twin sister, who ends up taking back the company toward the end,
are from Snowpiercer.
Like one of them might be like the younger version of. But I was like, the timelines probably don't match up there. I don't know how far in the future Snowpiercer is supposed to be, but this is already kind of in the future. So I was like, that'd be interesting if he had a little like Easter egg cinematic universe thing going on, but no connection as far as I could tell.
But I mean, it's similar themes around like humans' impact on the environment, and like in this particular instance, it's on the other beings that exist on this planet, and how little we respect them, especially in Western culture,
just because we have a higher intelligence.
Well, yeah. So I was actually just pulling a clip for our posts this week for our last week's episode, and I think the clip I pulled was your whole thing about how humans see themselves as like the dominant species on the planet, which gives them some sort of like freedom to take advantage of every other species and every other thing. But yeah, so it all plays into those same themes of like how capitalism basically just destroys everything, and and Bong Joon-Ho and the crew talked about how they visited slaughterhouses to see how they were and get inspiration, and he said it actually turned him and I think the co-writer both into like temporary vegans like for the entirety of the shoot, because they were so disgusted with the practices and everything that happened. And that's a big thing too, is like I don't go out of my way to watch some of those documentaries that do exist, or like the PETA videos that show you a slaughterhouse, just because I know I would be absolutely horrified. And this is, I guess, obviously a more palatable way to kind of introduce that message to people who maybe aren't aware that where they get their food from is not a place that treats animals like living beings.
It's like, instead of being shown the full length mirror to see like what your life impacts others for, it's like he's just like, let me do, you can do a little of this, you just get a little angle,
little peek, and then it's up to you to go, oh, that movie really impacted me, I'm gonna go do a bunch of research on how animals are actually treated. Because I was thinking like, oh well, we don't have that attachment to the cows that get slaughtered to make our In-N-Out burgers or whatever. But if you were best fucking friends with a cow and you grew up with a cow, and then somebody was like, cool, now we're gonna kill it and eat it, you'd be pretty upset. So it's just like, okay, well, what if we treated each animal like we had some sort of personal relationship with it? Like, how differently would we think about this entire process? And so you get to know Okja, and you get to love Okja, and then you see a million other Okjas all being led to slaughter, and you're like, oh, okay, this is real fucked up. This is real bad.
Yeah, and there's a pretty, I guess, grotesque or violent, like basically a rape scene.
Yeah,
which I was like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. But it was...
Yeah, the scenes of
awful.
Okja being tortured and all that stuff, that's really hard to watch too.
Yeah.
And also because the effects are so good that like you feel it. I mean, it reminded me of the New Guardians. where it's like, yeah, the effects are good enough to where I'm like, yeah, this isn't a real animal, but I'm still crying over it like it's a real animal.
I still have real attachment. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely a downer. I mean, for me, I live in a vegetarian household. I'm the only one who eats meat there, and for the most part, that's limited my consumption of meat to like when I'm with others, which I think
you're more of a fan of beating it than eating it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you've always said.
No, it helps.
It's gonna be honest.
I still enjoy eating meat. I enjoy the flavor of it and everything, but I try my best, at least as far as when we're going to buy things, to try to buy from as humane of places as possible, which is complicated here. Which I mean, if you look at even going as far as trying to buy eggs, you have to be very meticulous and know and have done your research on what labels mean what, because if you pick the wrong thing, you're just picking something that just has a flowery title and is still a place where they torture the fuck out of chickens.
Yeah, it's oh, well, here we put them in cages that are a centimeter larger than all the other places. Buy our stuff instead. It's the same as, I say about how if we wanted to trace all of our entertainment that we consume back to its source, it would always be some filthy rich, awful white man, And so it's just you can't keep, if you did that with everything entertainment-wise you consumed, or with food that you consume, it's going to drive you absolutely nuts. And, but I do think that is if watching this movie even gets you to take the step to be more conscious with where you're buying your food from, then I think that's awesome. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to become a vegetarian. I didn't come out of the movie going, I'm gonna stop eating meat. It just made me go yeah, maybe I should be a little bit more conscientious about how much I eat, or where it comes from and that sort of thing. So but it's got all the hallmarks of a Bong Joon-Ho movie. I would say this is probably it's a good place to start if you're trying to get into Bong Joon-Ho, because there is, it is a hybrid of English-speaking actors and Korean actors. You have Steven Yeun, who kind of is able to bounce between both worlds, which is one of the many things that I love about him. And then, but it has all the hallmarks of having really dark themes and dark elements, but also being just very heartwarming and fun and funny in a lot of places. And just having a great cast, which is just a hallmark of all of Bong Joon-Ho's
Can you
stuff.
say Al Pacino?
Got a great cast!
It does, though.
Yeah. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I've seen it a couple times now, but I'm glad you guys liked it too.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think that if you have Netflix, it makes it real easy just to throw it on and watch it. I would make sure you're in the right headspace, though.
Yeah. Get ready to cry a little bit. Get ready to shed a little tear.
A couple of tears.
I did not. Did you?
I cried a little, yeah.
Because I'm dead inside.
I guess we know who's the bitch on the podcast. It's me.
Yeah,
I
cry all the time.
I cry all the time at everything. But yeah, so do we want to wrap that up with a recommendation and spin that old wheel of endless possibilities? See what we're doing.
Yeah,
next
I
week?
recommend.
I recommend as well. Cut to the obviously not pre-recorded wheel spinnings.
Woo!
Time travel.
All right, time to spin the wheel of endless possibilities for these P-picks.
P-picks.
Woo, woo, woo. John, you picked?
I picked Panic Room.
Yeah, I picked Pitch Black, and Anthony's got...
Possession.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Spin again.
Spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, you motherfucker. Gotta spin the wheel, we gotta spin the wheel, we gotta spin the wheel, we gotta spin the wheel. Ooh, back-to-back me, baby, Panic Room.
Okay, all right.
Hey, never gonna be mad about a Finch.
Never gonna be mad about a Fincher.
A Finchy.
All right, great. Well, that's what we're watching next week. If you haven't already, please check out our regular episode, and we'll see you next time.
Keep it creepy.